adventure at Conner Prairie has allowed these families to experience all different kinds of history and interactive opportunities.
We'll have the opportunity for our kids to really engage and get their hands dirty with participating with nature.
And having access to the arts is very important. You know, just have this area and space to just be open to communicate and have dialogue and learn.
Conner Prairie has always been a place of fun and education, but it's also a place that the family can go together and make memories. But we always have to keep coming back because it keeps changing.
So we've seen all kinds of great innovation come out of this area, and in Spark Lab we're going to hopefully create the next generation of kids who see the problems they want to solve and find new solutions.
It's really been, you know, one of those partnerships that has just, as it's grown, been enriching for all.
My first exposure to Conner Prairie was in the 4th grade. I came here on a field trip, and I remember watching the potter, absolutely fascinated, watching his hands create something functional from a blob of clay. And it's one thing that I've really grown to appreciate as I've started working here, are all the different ways that we have to connect with people.
On over 1,000 acres, there's just so many opportunities to engage. We know that spending time outside, spending time literally in the sun, and then engaging in physical activity are all things that positively contribute to mental health. We're fortunate that getting campers on the White River, getting them to canoe on our pond on property, swimming on property. There's very few places that you can have the variety of experiences that you get with programs like Conner Prairie Adventure Camp or Weekend Camp. Getting kids out and active contributes to their overall well-being, but it also contributes to their mental health.
I personally was a homeschool mom for many years. What I learned is that if we took nature breaks, if we took walks, when we went back home to study, their attention spans were longer. Maybe it wasn't just my children who needed that experience, but it could potentially work for other children in our community. And so I initiated the Explore program. Children that we serve are mainly from Marion County. Because they're urban settings, they don't have a lot of green space. And we are hosting the Explore program here at Conner Prairie, reconnecting urban youth and youth of color to blue and green spaces, to give them an opportunity to understand that this is who we are as a people. It has always been a part of our culture, to help them understand that it's a part of their identity.
You know, this is truly a unique place where families can create a really cool memory together. For the families that we serve, there's an added layer of worry and concern and financial burden. Coming out to an adventure and having fun where they just get to relax and enjoy, make a memory. That's the most important part. Gives these families a break. They don't have to think about where are they gonna park, or how much are the tickets gonna cost? We take care of all of that with our partners like Conner Prairie to make sure that burden is just released from them.
It's amazing for me to come in and see kids inventing. I see kids really practicing the skills of collaborating, of taking risks, and really everything we need kids to do for the future. We don't know what future jobs we're going to create, but we know it's going to involve a lot of change. We're excited to welcome Conner Prairie into the Spark Lab network. It's already a Smithsonian affiliate museum, but with the Spark Lab, it's joining an elite group of 10 museums around the United States that have these hands-on spaces. Kids really get a chance to create something new, to invent, to solve a problem. Invention has a purpose. It's solving a problem we have today and in the future.
All of our programs aim to facilitate this guided self-discovery. The last 2 summer intensive programs have been in support of the building of Promised Land is Proven Ground. But last year, all we had was the theme. We knew we wanted to talk about Frederick Douglass, and we knew we wanted it in rhythm, rap, and jazz. Everything that was created by the students. It was really cool to see, to be a teaching artist and really just watch them come into their own. You know, the other cool thing has been the body of artists that we've been able to introduce to Conner Prairie, and the opportunities that Conner Prairie has been able to engage our artists with, whether it's being an interpreter, whether it's working on the new exhibit. I don't know that I have the adequate words to really describe like what this experience has been as far as like being a part of and the development of Promised Land is Proven Ground, and understanding the implications, right? Understanding that this is a fixture and it will live beyond. So there's an obligation to get it right.
I wanted to make sure that it was something that would last and that would integrate into just the pathway that is set forth, you know, for everything else that's to come for Conner Prairie. I wanted to provide something that was fun, you know, something that changed people's perspective and narratives when it comes to bees. Their role in society is very important. You know, they are the workers, they are the pollinators. In the smallest ways that are so major, they keep the ecosystem flowing. Bees are kind of stigmatized the same way, you know, if we can think about people from the African diaspora or, you know, Black people, African American people. It's that same stigma. You know, we have the worker bees, we have people that helped build society in a very major way, but you have so many people that have, you know, stereotypical views or negative aspects. Ultimately, I wanted to just provide that positive experience and just a sprinkle of joy.
We worked very hard at listening and observing our guests to figure out what interests them the most, and that's where we meet them. You know, for instance, people come to Mary Prairie to enjoy their time together as a family. I remember sitting around the fire. I was a rowdy during Mary Prairie. And a family came in and sat down on the bench next to us, and the older children were not interested. And it didn't deter us. We went on ahead and just had a ball, singing songs, telling stories. And I noticed that the oldest had put her phone away. And by the time we were done, she was singing. And later that evening, I saw this family walk by again, and that young lady waved at me and locked eyes with me and mouthed the words, "Thank you."
My family came to Mary Prairie this Christmas, and my girls loved it. The lights, seeing the people, but most of all the Cranky show. And they were so inspired that we went home with paper and boxes and gift wrap rolls, made their very own Cranky TV that they can crank, and then they edited the song and rewrote it so that they have a magic train going around and around the world looking for landmarks all over.
To me, it's really developed an interest in history for a number of generations in the family. My children and grandchildren wanted to know more and learn more about what it was, and so they kept learning new things and wanting to come back.
As a child, I was always so excited when I got here. I couldn't wait to get to the schoolhouse. Now, as a parent, it's exciting because each time we come, my kids are fascinated by something different.
Of course, without our guests, the communities that we reach, the communities that come, we would be nothing more than a bunch of empty buildings. The fact that people do come, the fact that we have these partners that extend our reach into communities that we normally wouldn't have, helps us accomplish our mission.